What's up, man?
What up, brother?
Cheers, sir.
Cheers, man. Morning
I got
coffee.
I'm drinking tea
Mm.
still every morning. I haven't it's been 3 weeks since I've had coffee. I'm not necessarily trying to give up coffee.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just getting my body right, and I'm just on a little bit of a cleanse. So that's where I'm
Uh,
at.
I don't blame you. That's good. I mean, you gotta get the
Yeah.
body right. You
Yeah.
gotta get, and I will say, just make sure that water's in there too, because you gotta get the
Oh,
hydration right,
of
right?
course. Yep. I've shed about 7 pounds in 3 weeks, so yeah.
I love it.
But
I love it. So, hey, man, check it out. Here's what I want to do today. Most people, thank you guys for watching and tuning into these. Uh, but just to give you guys an example or a day is that we do kind of a pre-show, right? We pre-show it a little bit. We talk a little bit. And today we were chatting just friend to friend, not really, which, you and I have been friends for a long, long time. And we get into these moments just one-on-one where we just, we're sharing kind of intimate things about our lives, right? The spots. And it was interesting today because you said something and I was sharing and I shared with you the other day a coaching situation that we had to get really granular with somebody because they're overwhelmed. So anybody on this call, anybody who watching this right now, right? Are you feeling overwhelmed, right? You've seen these with us. You've seen D at home with the kids, with the boys, right? Sometimes you got to pick them up. Sometimes you got to hold them. Sometimes you got to hold on a second and run off and make sure, the house isn't on fire, right? I mean, and at the same time, we're running a company that we are about to break records for the company, right? We have hundreds of people that count on us, right? From
yeah.
down all the way down to the calendar of classes, to how we can help them, to compliance, to everything that they need, right? And so that falls on you and I, right? And the rest of the staff and Scott and Denise, and thank God for them, right?
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, we are no different. We're just humans. And
Yeah.
and we get overwhelmed and we get crazy. And this morning you were sharing with me like not so much about the business and what do we need to do and what's the next thing that we need to do so we could get more agents and we can get more, GCI and more company dollar and all the things that we discuss and talk about because we got to forecast and we got to build a company, right? We got to continue to build a company,
Yeah.
not just sit back. And you said something today, D, that really got me, man, that I think people, and I want you to share, is that when you are overwhelmed, and this was about you getting better,
Hmm.
not about anything else to say, hey, there's some things that I need to change in my life. And one of those things is you said, I'm making excuses, but how do we educate ourselves? Well, I need to read more.
Yeah.
And you were like, when in the world am I going to find
Yeah.
time to do this on top of all the
Yeah.
other stuff that we have and kids and wives and all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff? And so, but I think it's very important that people understand the human nature of this. And it's not just about us help getting the office better. The office gets better if we get
Hmm.
better
Yep. Yep.
individually, right?
For
So
sure.
we have to continue to grow.
Yep.
And you shared, and I want you to share a little bit today with our audience is that you were feeling it, but you're like,
Yeah.
man, I want to get better. I need to educate. And so I want to read more. But yet you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
go for
it's
it.
and so I do read. I do read every day. I keep up with current events. And it's a little bit it is sporadic. And so I do read a lot, like on the phone or in other what is it, like magazines or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to be more focused on getting better, like mindset wise, because I'm always reading current events, but it was really had to do with mindset. And I was shout out to my coach James Parker, and he's been coaching us and for
Mm-hmm.
about 9 months, and he's been coaching me personally for I think the last 3 or 4, or actually I think even 6. Wait, what? So anyway, I was telling him what I'm trying to do, and I've been trying to figure out my schedule, and yeah, I get overwhelmed. And with life and work, all that combination, especially right now. So I just want to read just to be to myself. And he said, well, let's talk through it. And we're just talking through it. And I said, he asked me what I could commit to. And I said, I could commit to 30 minutes a day. He's like, no, you can't. He's like, no, you can't. Go smaller. I said, okay. I go 10 minutes. He's like, nope. He goes, go even smaller. I'm like, jokingly, I was like, I could read a page a day. He's like, exactly. Do that. And he's like, it sounds stupid, right? And I said, yeah, it sounds silly. He's like, that's what I want. He's like, don't overthink it. Just go to 1 page a day. And I was like, okay, that seriously, 1 page a day I can do without a doubt. And so what I did,
excuses.
yeah, now I have no excuses. And yesterday on my way home, because I was starting this yesterday, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go home. I'm not going to have time to read because of the boys. And then I got to spend time with my wife and then go to sleep. And so I stopped at a red light, and I'm, just doing a reread of Shift, and I pulled it out. It was on my car seat, and I stopped at a red light and I started reading. And I got to another red light, and I actually finished 2 pages. And I felt that sort of accomplishment. I'm like, okay, cool, I did it. Instead of saying, oh, I didn't get my half hour to read.
Right.
I committed to 1 page, and I actually got 2. And I felt so much better about myself. And the point of this is, yes, we need big goals. That's without a doubt. We need something to keep us going, that end goal. But how do we get there? Are these small little victories every single day?
Yes.
And just this small victory of reading 2 pages when I committed just to 1, it made me feel better. It made me, it's like, you know what?
You're winning the day.
Something. Yeah, I won the day. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
and I hope people are hearing this. Yes, we should have lofty goals. Yes, we should have big vision, but you have to get it down to granular and make it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
You have to, when you're building a habit, when you're building it, James Clear talks about this in Atomic Habits, is that you have to make it so easy that there's no excuse. You have to make it so simple that there's absolutely no excuse.
Yeah.
And if you do that, right? And look at you, you found a way to do it. You found that moment to do it. I always tell a story, a coaching client of mine out of when I was helping the College Park office in Upland for KW, right? And we launched the program over there, and I launched it for them. And I had a client, and she was transitioning from being an accountant to being a realtor, right? And we did the same thing, right? It was just like, you just have to talk to 10 people 3 times a week. And she had a sheet that we kept, right? And she would write the names down. And so she would just go into her phone and just make phone calls. Hey, how are you? And she would, just like you did right now, she would pull up, she would get home knowing if she got out of that car and got inside, she got 2 kids in there that need to eat. She got a husband who there's going to be laundry. There's no chance. So no matter where her day was, she was at 6, she was at 7, maybe she was at 8 people. She had to get 2 more. She was like, I'm not getting out of this car until I hit 10. And that's it. And call. And it's, really cool story, because she called somebody, right? And they were like, oh my God, my sister needs to sell her house. She got a $700,000 listing. They bought $1.5 million in Coda de Casa, and all because she just didn't get out of her car and go inside and let life happen, because that's what's going to happen to you. You walk in, man, those boys are attacking you, man. They haven't seen you all day.
Yes, sir.
Right? They're coming at you. But you just took that moment to say, all right, I'm going to find those moments, make it simple, stupid, get it done, right?
Yeah.
And now that kind of consistency, and when I leave myself no excuse, that's when the success starts to duplicate. That's when the compound effect starts to happen.
Exactly. Yep.
So, and that was cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I appreciate it. And I'm going to give a shout out to our coach, Mr. James Parker. You're the man.
Love James. James the man.
So cheers, everybody.
Make it simple, stupid.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Well, have a happy Tuesday, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.